Shall we play a game?
Finish him.
I was actually out of town for a couple weeks leading up to that, and I didn't have cell phone service, so I wasn't on Facebook.
Where
or
were you
anything.
at? Gosh.
I was in Italy.
He was in Italy.
Excuse me.
And so I get back and I get on Facebook and I see people talking about flooding. I'm like, it's not even raining.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about flooding?
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna flood. And then all that happened. I was like, oh, okay. I got caught up on everything.
Yeah. And so actually, that was the funny thing. I was like, we can't flood. It's not raining. And he was
Right.
It rained in Oklahoma. And so kind of Darnell is a sink, like the bottom of a sink.
Right.
And so when it rains anywhere in the Arkansas River that connects, anywhere that connects to it, we get it.
Because we have the dam.
Yes, we got the dam and all that stuff. And so the other dams in like Ozark and down that way, the Corps engineers like, hey, we're opening up a little bit more. We're opening up a little bit more and all that stuff. And then we was pushing at 300 gallons per minute out of our dam. And it was not even fully open yet. So that just tells you how much water it was. And so I'm so thankful for people with drones and the pictures and stuff. But we were in a situation that at one point in time, we were going to get rain. And so that was going to put another scare factor onto the whole flooding situation. My office sits on the river and stuff, and it was 10 feet from approaching my office. And so
Wow.
it was very scary and all that stuff. But, and so during that time, I was worried about my office, my city, and different things like that. And so it was a time to be alive. It was, so.
Wow. So you alluded to him earlier. I want to kind of get into Mayor Witt a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Just tell me about him. Like, tell me about who he is as a person,
Yeah.
and just I think people kind of now I understand that everyone sees the amazing things that he did, but give me some things maybe. What are some things about Mayor Witt that people just maybe did not know about him regarding all the flooding thing? I mean, I understand he did a phenomenal job, but give me some kind of details behind the scenes that maybe not everyone knows.
Yeah, so pretty much going into him running for mayor and all that stuff, I'll tell you a story that I just found out the other day. They have property right on the outskirts of Darnell city limits, and to run for mayor, you have to be living in the city limits of Darnell and not just in Darnell. And so they were going to build a house there and live there, all that stuff. But something just told him to wait. He needs to do more. And so, just like many of us, he has a passion for Darnell. And so he didn't. And he was like, I'm going to run for mayor. And he was talking about his wife was like, no, you're going to be restricted to an office. You got to do this and that and all that stuff. You're not going to have the free time as you want. He was like, you're right, but it's time for a change. And so, like I said, our former mayor, Carolyn McGee, is my homegirl. And so I was like, yes. But anyway, I know Jim my whole life. And Jimmy is just a great guy. And he had the background. So I was like, and he said it earlier this last week because we got a check for something, presentation check. But he said I felt like it was a God thing because out of all people running for mayor, who's more prepared for a natural disaster? I would say that with his background with FEMA and stuff. So
Gotcha.
It was perfect, perfect. And he actually put people on his team that can handle stuff like this. and like with our police chief, with our emergency management director, they worked well together and all that stuff. Jeff Cookie was there, has been with us for many years, and then Mark Thone, Judge Mark Thone, he used to hold me as baby, and all that stuff. And so it was just a great atmosphere in this. They call it the war room. When I walked in there, I felt very out of place because I was like, y'all want some cookies? Like, y'all want this and that? I didn't know how to handle it because I was just so scared. But they deal with emergencies every day.
Yeah.
I don't. Like, and so it was, like I said, it was a sight to see, and it was amazing.
And what did he? Because I know I'm going to butcher the name if I try to personally say it. But at the July 4th show, what he was awarded something very prestigious.
Yes, he got the highest honor out of the Secretary of State's office of Arkansas Secretary of State, the Diamond State Award. And so that is like a pretty awesome award for his hard work and dedication to his city. And so he every time he spoke during that 2 weeks of flooding, he kept talking about, he said, we are setting the tone for other cities. And I get chills right now still thinking about it, because we did. Small town USA, Darnell, Arkansas, set the tone for big cities in Texas and this and that, to kind of know. My sister ran into a news anchor downtown from her work and from our office, and it was a news anchor, and he's like, oh, he asked where she's from. She's like, Darnell, Arkansas. And he's like, we just did a story on that. Like, I was like, we're in Cincinnati, and then Australia had us on the news and different things.
Oh, wow.
We
Wow.
set the bar for what a community looks like. And so I'm thankful for that, and all our people that came out and helped support us and did work.
I mean, it's really terrible what happened.
Yeah.
But despite that, it's a good time to be in Yale County. It's a good time to be from here in Dardanelle. And just like, what great leadership from top to bottom. Just like the right people seem to be in the right places when we needed it the most.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, he said, did you say that Mayor Witt said, like, you gotta be strong? Like,
he was like a slap in the face.
Yeah.
Like, get up, wait.
Like,
no,
it's
I'm
like
scared.
you can't. It's like you can't change that this is happening, and you didn't sign up for this. But you signed up for this.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I signed up for it, but it's something I've never experienced. And so I went through the community, and so my district that I represent, I went and walked through the town. My cousins drove me and stuff like that. On my birthday, I went and talked to people and helped them move their stuff out, because, like I said, when my district was in the line of fire that was going to get flooded. So we had people moving their whole house, and in some places you can't get flood insurance. My own personal house does not have flood insurance, and so I'm still privileged to still live at home with my parents. And so it was just that moment, and it was that moment that I was like, we're good at our house and stuff. And then Jimmy was like, hey, I just want you to know, now you're in the line of fire. When he told me that, he's like, I want to let you know first before I tell anybody, because a lot of the information that I'm learning, because I was wearing two hats, the newspaper and for city council, I'm in the press conference, and I'm like standing there like, what? I didn't know that. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh. And so he told me ahead of time, and I'm like, as soon as we got done with that press conference, I went to Walmart, got the plastic to put in front of the sandbags and all that stuff. And so and we had people, my neighbors came and helped me, and I helped my neighbors, but I never forget that moment of, it's raining, right? Now, it was raining on me, and I'm throwing sandbags on my house to hope to protect it. And so I got to feel what it was like to potentially lose everything. And so I never want nobody to experience that. But my parents worked so hard to have what we have, and all that stuff. And my mom was like, I just want my purses and this and that. I'm like, but she understood the value of, hey, everybody is not going to be able to protect everything and save everything. And so it was crazy.
And in terms of, again, I know I'll butcher this number.
No,
What was the total number of volunteers y'all had?
We had over 400 volunteers.
That's
through
incredible.
everything. Yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
Every day we had people coming, bringing food. And so one thing I told our Mayor Witt, and I might refer to him all the time as Jimmy, because I've known him as Jimmy. Mayor Witt, I don't know him as that.
Yeah.
But, well, I do now, but anyway, so, Mayor Witt would text me and be like, hey, we need volunteers. Or I'll text him like, hey, are we doing sandbags? Well, he's like, well, today's Sunday. Let's hold off. Everybody needs a rest. We look good. The water's not really rising as fast and stuff. And then out of nowhere, it rains. And then he's like, we need volunteers. So as soon as that happened, the Journey Church, I want to brag about them. They, I do remember Sunday, because Sunday, I was like, my back is hurting. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how these people are doing it. I can't keep getting up. And it was just that. So at that time, we moved my family to the Russellville house, and we moved in Russellville. And so we were staying in Russellville. So I was going back and forth. But my sister was in town, like I said, only for a short period. Wanted to see her and stuff. And so the Journey Church came over, and they killed it. They brought a lot of people with them, and they did sandbagging and all that stuff. And so it was just a lot of people getting together, and it was like, hey, this is our town. It's time to protect it. And so we never went without food. We always had food and stuff like that. But it was pretty awesome to see the people. I saw she was 86, a lady that was 86 years young, and she was sandbagging. And I'm like, what? And I was like, I'm complaining about my back. Let me go and get over here and sandbag some more. But it was just that kind of community. And we had kids as young as 4 and 2 holding sandbags to get sand in it. It was just like a aha moment that I was like, this is what community looks like. And so I think like I said, I did not want the flood. I think everybody did not want it and all that stuff. But
nobody wanted
that. It opened eyes for us, and it also showed what our community is possible of doing. And so that's what I loved.
Yeah, just you can't say enough about it. It was truly awe inspiring.
Yeah.
I've only been a Yale County resident myself for a little over a year, but just from someone who raised outside of the area to see that, it's home.
Yeah.
Whether you're a day old, whether you've lived here all your life.
Yeah.
It was absolutely incredible. So kudos to everyone. If you contributed in any sort of way, ranging from volunteering, ranging to just simply prayer, they helped. They were definitely part of the process. So, it's a learning experience for sure. I certainly hope that never happens again, but I think that's definitely going to be just one of those moments, one of those situations that occurs a couple times in our life, and but to see the betterment was just astounding. Jeremy and Joey going down in round 6. Man, you guys are showing out there. I was really impressed. So who wants next game?
Someone.
I don't.
Come on, Rashad.
Let me get a little break.
Here, let me jump here. Let the Wonder Twins jump in. Me and Alan are gonna play real quick.
Yeah.
And
Little cousin match going.
little cousin match. I mean, they may as well be brothers. I've known them for a long time, so that's my little joke I like to say.
Well, Rashad, I do have a question for you.
Okay.
I'm actually going to speak up. Are you happy, Matt?
Yes, I
I'm
am.
actually going to say something.
Production manager coming through.
I'm supposed to be just behind the scenes.
No.
Well, so with the flood wise that happened, a lot of people, especially like higher up, they always say that things go smoother when nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people would hope is like holding a position within the city. It's like as long as nothing's going wrong, there's no kind of incidents, no crisis, we're doing good. It's when something happens like this, I feel like is where it really shows who people are.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So are you happy that you were able to experience this? Instead of just being someone out with like who's living into the city watching it, you're actually kind of part of the group that's kind of forefronting this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm very thankful because it opened doors for me and all that stuff. But I hate it also because of the simple fact that we're receiving awards and people are losing property, losing houses and stuff.
Yeah.
But we know now what we can we know how much hay we can hold, you know, and all that stuff. And so I'm thankful for being a part of this historical moment and stuff like that. I think we all are sitting in this room have been a part of this historical moment, but to being in the front run of it and be able to inform people like, hey, guess what? Your house is not going to flood.
Yeah.
You won't be able to get back in your house right now because the water is still high.
Yeah.
But where the water's going down, you know, and all that stuff. And it's just a moment. It was just a moment that I'm like, this really happening? Like, oh my gosh. And my dad, you know, to be able to call people and tell them like, hey, I just want to let you know that this is where the water is. People are coming to me. And that was the highlight of this. I was elected to be the liaison to our community, and so it was just really cool in that moment to come to that. But it was cool to sit back, and then so I play a different role in many things. Like I'm the community person. I don't want to make the hard decision when it's like that on what we're gonna do and stuff on that part.
Just tell me what we're doing.
Just tell me what we're doing. Tell me what you need.
I'll
get it done. And so the biggest thing, I'm big on volunteerism and stuff like that. And so getting the volunteers, I was like, oh, that's all you need? Done. I didn't know the emergency management side of this, you know, disaster and stuff. I did end up learning a lot about it, but I knew how to get the volunteers there, how to get food, how to get things done on that side so they wouldn't have to stress on that. So everybody played a big role in their own little category. And so it was pretty awesome.